has said not this weekend, but they're yet to offer a definitive judgment. What should they say to Emily Bridges?
Well, we understand that the UCI ruled that on a technicality to do with her licence, she is unable to race this Saturday. So the substantive issue has not gone away, which is that Emily is male, born male, will remain male because you cannot change your sex. And if she competes at any point in the female category, to my mind, that is wrong and unfair because males should not compete in the female category. The science is very clear that once males have been through puberty, testosterone suppression, which is used as the kind of fix with this issue, does not remove male advantage. So males who have undergone testosterone suppression, which is one of the UCI rules, retain male advantages, and therefore female athletes do not have fair competition in their own category.
And that, as you say, that advantage that's retained, whether it's in bone density or muscle mass, and you would think in something like cycling, where it's, the long levers really matter, the advantage is going to be even more pronounced.
Yes, I mean, for example, the Q angle, which is the angle that your femur runs from your hip to your knee, that is greater in females because we bear children. That makes for less efficient cycling, running, and other activities. And this is one of the things which never, ever changes, skeleton shape. This does not change, whatever treatment or surgery you have. Some aspects change, like hemoglobin, for example, reduces down to female levels. But many aspects of sporting activity, such as bone density, muscle mass, they do not change at all, or they change minimally. And the science is very clear on this. So to have fair competition in the female category, you cannot have people who are male, full stop.
Yamauchi, I just wonder whether the wind is changing a little bit on this and whether perhaps thoughts are crystallising based on the evidence you described there. Some of the female cyclists who've talked about this have been pretty outspoken. And certainly if you think about the Leah Thomas case, forget the words, look at the picture. Look at the picture of Leah Thomas on the podium. Actually, we've just thrown one up, but it's not the picture I've got in mind. But many of our viewers, and apologies to our listeners, will know the picture I'm talking about, of Leah Thomas, who has transitioned, wants to be taken seriously as a female swimmer now, but on the podium, having won by a country mile. But the other biologically female swimmers crowded at the other end of the podium and making a point so doing.
Yeah, I mean, you said the cyclists have spoken out, the female cyclists. To my knowledge, they haven't, because they're too scared to. Sharon Davis has been in touch with them. And as I understand it, they are too scared to speak up. And I'm not surprised, because British Cycling have a policy which says, you must accept people in the gender in which they present. You cannot challenge this. And the University of Pennsylvania female swimmers who were up against Leah Thomas were silenced by the officials and coaches of their university and threatened with no jobs or whatever if they spoke up. In athletics, thankfully, in the last 48 hours or so, many more athletes, including currently competing ones, have been speaking up. And I'm so grateful to them and really pleased to see that. It's easy for people like myself, Sharon Davis, Daley Thompson, we're all older, we're retired, but the younger competing ones, they have a lot to lose in terms of sponsorship contracts, fear about not being selected if they speak their minds. So I'm so grateful to them for speaking up, and I encourage other athletes who perhaps are too afraid to speak to really speak up now. There is strength in numbers. We can't all be cancelled. And this is the truth. This is science and the truth.
Yamauchi, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Francis